I love y'all. Period. Like, you know what I'm saying? I love y'all. Yo, look.
We love you too, Gerard. Yes.
Oh
We
my
love you too,
God, I don't
Gerard. You
believe
can
it.
help us take over the world. Point.
Yo, I'm trying not to cry, y'all. Listen, I have Pinky in the brain. I got Pinky in the brain with me. So first question, because I know everybody got questions too. So the first question that I have is, when y'all working together, Pinky in the brain, have y'all ever thought, or have y'all ever been approached to do like a Pinky in the brain, movie, or Pinky in the brain game, Pinky in the brain VR, something that will allow us to be more involved with the creation that y'all have with y'all voices and y'all skill set?
It's what we pray for every day.
Yeah,
We'd love to do a movie. I'd love to do a VR. I'd love to do Pinky in the Brain, the Broadway musical. I mean, anything would be fantastic. We just love playing these characters so much. But right now, we're just thrilled that we're doing the season 2 of Animaniacs, and we're sandwiched in there very nicely between the Yakko and the Wacko and the Dot person.
Yeah.
You know them, Rob.
Yes, I know them very well. Hello, Gerard.
Oh my God. I don't believe it.
We see Dana and John and Dave and you, Gerard, and the way that you respond to those to the characters, that is the biggest gift of everything. It truly is, to know that we have this superpower, and all we have to do is rip a little bit of these characters, and it makes you guys so happy. Honestly, that it just doesn't get any better, my friend.
Love y'all, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gerard. Dave, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Dave. I'm calling in from Melbourne, Australia. It's really lovely to be able to speak.
G'day. What time is it?
It is 9:30 in the morning, so it's not too bad.
9:30 on Tuesday morning.
Tomorrow morning, yes.
Yes, Tuesday morning. That's
yeah,
right.
What's the stock market going to do? Just kidding. I need to raise money for my next plan to take over the world, Dave. And
I'll let you know when I know.
Future.
Attaboy.
Yes.
Nice to see you again, Dave.
Yeah, we spoke earlier in the year, which was wonderful. It's really lovely to meet you, Maurice. I want to know, me and Rob, we spoke a little bit about this earlier in the year, but I want to know, what is the magic ingredient with the Animaniacs that allows this show to transcend the generations? I grew up with the show, as I'm sure everyone else in here did. I love that original show, but this new version of the show is terrific as well. What is it that makes this show continue to click 25, 30 years later? Not only as an audience member, but as people who are actively working on the show and developing these characters.
Tremendous intelligence, I think, if I can just throw in my 2 cents. I think we've got, one of the smartest writing staffs in all of Hollywood, and same goes for the music staff and the people who write the songs. That's my 2 cents. But Rob?
Yeah, well, it is very smart. Also, and the fact that you guys are so gracious with your responses to us notwithstanding, we don't draw them, we don't write them. It is a deeply collaborative effort. But I think it's safe to say now that Animaniacs and Pinky and the Brain have become relatively iconic in a pop culture sense. And when you are able to do that at a high level, you end up with Rocky and Bullwinkle, you end up with The Simpsons, you end up with Looney Tunes, you end up with Transformers, stuff that is utterly timeless. And I don't know that there's a specific formula for us per se, Dave, but when you have people who are really at performing their crafts at a high level, and the show is being overseen by Steven Spielberg.
That was my.
I mean, come on, man. Honestly, we are the grateful beneficiaries of having the best of the best, and I don't even know how to express my gratitude. It's really
because who's going to say no to the question? Do you want to work with Steven Spielberg?
Again,
right?
It's just
again,
yeah.
Sorry to take another one, but has doing this new season really hammered that idea home that this is such an iconic property, either Pinky and the Brain or the Animaniacs?
I think so. I think so.
We were discussing this earlier, and that we really feel like because with the good graces of Hulu has given us another season, that we really hit our stride, and there are new cultural things to be lampooned. The world has changed in 27 years. You guys were very young when we did the first batch, but now you can even get jokes that you didn't get from the first batch if you rewatch them on Hulu. And we've really hit our stride. And what an incredible.
And you can enjoy season 2 because we're now really old.
Yeah, we are authentically
Great,
old.
thank you. Thank you for your time. I
Dave.
appreciate
Dana,
it.
go ahead.
Thank you so much for doing this. Dream come true that I never knew I dreamt. What I was wondering is, you guys have such great chemistry. Like as a kid, you couldn't tell me you guys weren't like real, and even as an adult, I'm like, you're so real. I don't care. What is it? There was a long period in between when the first iteration ended and then now you're in the second season. So what is it like to come back to that chemistry? You guys have that. It's, to me, it seems like it's just automatic. You're able to go back and forth. So what was it like revisiting that again?
Well, we never dropped the chemistry, I don't think. Don't forget, we've gotten to hang out with each other in the ensuing time at many different events, and especially since Comic-Cons became a thing where every city now has a Comic-Con the way every corner has a Starbucks. We've gotten to hang out and you know, we've even done script readings for audiences of some of the classic episodes from the OG series. And invited people up to, you know, read along with us. So we've kept the chemistry going. We have a text chain that goes back between Rob and me that goes back to the beginning of texting. We just, you know, we've just always stayed in touch and we have tremendous fun with each other in real life. So that is definitely kept the chemistry alive for us.
It's no secret to anyone who knows Mo and me that I love this guy. I really do.
And I love this guy.
We are dear friends, and we went to each other's children's parties. We consoled each other when loved ones passed. We're like family. And the fact that we got to do this again, and now we see, you know, you, Dana, and John, and Gerard, and Dave, and all the other lovely folks who have spoken to us today. And it's our privilege. You guys are taking time out of your days to talk to us about something that we are so joyful and so thrilled to do. It is impossible to quantify, but that chemistry is the real deal. And I think going back to a little bit to one of the earlier questions, I think that's one of the reasons it does work so well. It's not contrived, you guys. This is the real deal. We do totally dig working together.
Yep.
Thank
absolutely.
you so much.
Absolutely.
Welcome.
John, go ahead.
And my question is, could you tell us what you were doing when you found out that it was going to come back? What was that day like for you?
Gosh, I was fixing to quit my career. No, well, there had been rumblings for a while, John, that this might happen and Mr. Spielberg might decide to pull the trigger and do this again. But when it was Sam Register, the head of Warner Brothers Animation, when he said, okay, Steven really wants to do this again, and we're going to go around town and pitch it. And when we found out, that Mr. Spielberg wanted to do it, it was pretty surreal, like Christmas, 24 hours a day for, I still haven't come down because we're still doing it. And then when Hulu was kind enough to say, yeah, I think we're going to take a flyer on this, Animaniacs changed my life. Tom Ruger and his crew of the first batch literally changed my life. So to do it again with Steven again, for an audience that was exponentially larger because of the fact that it did become a culturally iconic show, my goodness, it was mind-blowing to learn that it was actually going to happen.
Yeah, I had been for a long time a bit on the cynical side that if it did come back, they wouldn't use us. They would do a celebrity stunt casting, as so many reboots have done. And I don't think they've seen as much success. I don't say that as a dig, but I think when you go to reboot something and you want to give grown kids now their childhoods back, you give it back to them the full package. And that's what Steven really, he went into the pitches with our 8x10s and laid them out on the various, coffee tables of the meeting rooms and said, these are Yakko, Wacko, and Dot and Pinky in the Brain. And we won't go forward without knowing these are our main actors. We can do anything else around them, but they've got to come back. And thank God we were all in good enough health to do it. And so that has been a tremendous thing to me. I always joked that if we brought back Pinky in the Brain, it'd be Peter Dinklage and Russell Brand, as Pinky in the Brain. So that was a real thrill, And where I was recording another show, very popular show, and that the showrunner of that show had told me I didn't learn the official way. I learned through the side door. He said, I just interviewed to be the showrunner on the new Animaniacs, but I don't know if I'm right for it. And so I was like, they're doing it?
Right.
So,
oh, wow.
Yeah. So it was kind of a weird way to find out. But
yeah, honest to God, John, it was one of those things that your mind starts to run down, the fact we were just hoping to God somebody would buy it. Now to be talking to you folks about the launch of season 2, we've been doing this now for a couple hours. Doesn't matter. We could do it all day. The excitement that you see is utterly authentic. We get how great this is. It's remarkable, John.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. That's all the time we have.